Well, good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode here of Ryan's Ohana. So, I wallowed in self-pity last night and drowned in my sorrows of everything that happened yesterday and after the previous post that I had posted, y'all guys, I'm pretty sure know. And I woke up today and I took a deep breath and said, you know what? Today's a brand new day. Let's get it started. Let's be the hardest workers in the room, like The Rock always says, and let's dream, motivate, and conquer. And yeah, I feel a lot better. The air felt crisper this morning. I don't know if it's because it's a sign that fall is coming, but the air felt crisper this morning. So today we are gonna do ways to save at Disney. There's a lot of ways we can save at Disney, and that is what we are gonna talk about today. So it's early in the morning. We're about to head to work. I just ordered my Starbucks, and I thought about yesterday when I was talking that, you know, on one end of, I did a scale, and on one end of the scale over here was the trackers. That's who I would love to be, is the trackers. And then on this end of the scale, that's me. So I don't want to be the trackers because they're awesome, but I don't want to be the trackers because that's them. I kind of want to be in the middle. Kind of want to meet somewhere in the middle, be in the happy middle, and find that happy middle. So yeah, so on this episode, like I said, we're going to talk about ways to save at Disney, and yeah, and all the ways you can save. So let's get started. So like I said, we're here at Starbucks, and look at that beautiful sunrise. It's beautiful. Going to be a beautiful day today here in Texas, and like I said, the air felt a little crisper this morning. Felt a little cool. It's actually 72 degrees, but felt a little cool and a little crisp. So it feels like fall is hopefully on its way because it's been hot here in Texas. So yeah, hopefully it starts to cool down a little bit. All right, guys. So I'm out of work and on my way home. So as soon as I get there, I got some stuff I need to take care of, and then we will get started on how you can save money on your Disney trips. So let's get ready. All right, guys. So I am back at home from work today and from this morning. So we are back, and we are going to talk about the top ways that you can save at Disney. So one of the ways that I save at Disney is I have a Target Red card. So with that Target Red card, you can save 5% on anything that you buy at Target. And that includes your Disney gift cards. So what I do is I find my hotel and I book my hotel, but what I usually try and do is I usually try and find when they have savings on the hotels, like usually they have like 20% off on the hotels, and I go ahead and book it, and I save it, like I'm getting ready to book it, and then I'll go and I'll buy my Disney gift cards using my Target Red card, and I'll save 5%. So basically, for every $100, you'll save $5 for every 100 that you spend. So, you know, if just for instance, if the hotel costs $100, you'll save $5, so it'll actually cost $95. So you can see how it can get a lot of savings when you start spending like $1,000 on hotels or $2,000 on hotels. You'll start saving a lot more money, and that's pretty cool. You know, that you can do that. So you can book your hotel. It's usually a $200 reservation, and then you'll go ahead and buy your Disney gift cards from Target on your Target Red card. Like I said, it could be either linked to your debit card, or you can get a credit card outright. I know sometimes people are like, I don't want a credit card, which I'm exactly one of those people. I don't like using credit cards, but in some instances I will. But I get it linked to my checking account, and then I'll go and buy them, and I'll save 5%. And it's amazing, you know, the things that you can do with that Target Red card. And then another way that I'll do is I will buy my souvenirs beforehand. So like we went with Mavis a few years ago, and instead of spending all that money on merchandise there at the park, we went ahead and we bought her gifts or her souvenirs before we went on the trip. And this is when the Disney stores were still open here in Texas where we live. And we went there and we bought her plush figurines, any other little toy that we think that she would like, and we would give them to her each day that we were there on the trip. And we would say, this is from Mickey Mouse, and this would be that would be her gift for the day. So we didn't have to spend the $30 or $40 on the gifts inside the park. Of course, if there was something that she really, really, really wanted, or we thought, oh, it's really cool, we got to have it because it said Disney World on it, or it was something that we think that she could really, really use, we went ahead and we bought it. But when you're in Disney World, you can use gift cards. So therefore, for your Target Red card comes in again. Buy your gift cards. Like, say you're gonna only spend $100 a day, then go ahead and buy your gift cards on your Target Red card. Save that 5%, and then you can buy your souvenirs, and you'll save your 5% on that. And also, you'll save if you're an annual pass holder, you'll also save on that as well. Another thing that you can use to save on a Disney trip is become a DVC member. Now, that's one thing my wife and I were looking into, because since we travel so much to Disney World and to any of the Disney parks, we would like to become DVC members, because overall, in the end, you're going to save a lot of money, because the way the DVC works is you purchase a certain amount of points. So let's just say we buy 125 points a year for a set amount. So those points are banked for the year. And each hotel, ranking from the value to the moderate to the villas to the deluxe, they cost a certain amount of points per day, per week. And say you have 125 points, and say you're going to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, or the villas in Animal Kingdom, and Jumbo House or anything like that. So if you're going to stay at one of those, let's just say it's going to cost 150 points for that week. Well, that 150 points that you have is going to get taken away, and that's what you're going to use for that year to go to Disney World. And in hindsight, it's cheaper a year to do that. Plus, you get the discounts on merchandise and on food and stuff like that by being a DVC member. So you'll be getting those discounts as well. So overall, it becomes a cheaper thing for you if you're a DVC member. And that's one thing, like I said, my wife and I were looking into of becoming DVC members this year, since we're going to be traveling a lot to the parks. Another thing that you can do to save on your Disney trip is have Garden Groceries deliver your groceries, or your groceries to your room before you get there. They will do that for you. So if you want to buy bottles of water or little snacks that you can take for the kids inside the park, or even little snacks for you inside the park, or even if you're staying at one of the deluxe resorts that has a full-size kitchen, or even with the little kitchens that you have inside your rooms, you can buy your meats, your bread, your mayo, your mayonnaise, your cheese, and everything, and all the non-perishable stuff that you can buy as well. Have it delivered to your room, or have it delivered to the hotel the day before you get there, and it's cool, and they keep it cool for you. And then you can put it in your room. You can save by eating that the stuff you prepared. You can save on snacks. You can save on water by bringing in your bottles of water. And even more you can save on water is by any fountain drink area in the Disney parks. You can get free water. Just ask them, hey, can I have a cup of water? And they'll give you a cup of water. And you can save money that way too, by not having to spend $6 or $7 for a bottle of water. And that's pretty cool. The savings add up, when you start doing stuff like that. And another way that you can save is travel during the off season. So an off season is something like January or September. And there will not be a whole lot of people in the parks around that time. We usually like to travel in January because there's not a whole lot of people. The weather's perfect. You may get rained on, but you know what? It's the chance you take. It's Florida. It's gonna rain. But the last couple of times that we've gone in January, it's been perfect. You know, the weather's been great. It's been cool. We actually wore jackets, and then we took them off because it got hot, and then at night it got cold, so we put them back on. And then traveling during the off season is actually cheaper too than traveling when you're going during a peak season like the summer, when there's a whole lot of people that are going because everybody's out of school and they're traveling. So that's another thing that you can do to save money, is travel during the off seasons, which is less money for you, and it'll save you overall. Another thing that you can do is you can stay off property. There's plenty of hotels that are decent hotels that are around the Orlando area, and especially around the Disney area. There's plenty of hotels that you can stay in that are going to be a little bit more cheaper than staying on a Disney property or a Disney hotel. So when you do that, you'll save money overall on your trip, and you can spend more money in the parks. You can spend money on food. You can spend money on gifts when you're in there, because you're saving your money, not spending so much at the parks. I mean, not at the parks, at the hotels. And another thing that you can do that we do sometimes is we stay at a valley resort instead of staying at one of the moderate or the deluxe resorts, because the valley resorts, they're going to be a lot more cheaper than those other resorts. Granted, you're not going to get a lot of the bells and whistles that you get at one of those moderate or deluxe resorts, because we've stayed in a moderate resort, which was Coronado Springs, and we loved it. Don't get me wrong, I love staying in Coronado Springs. It was amazing. It was quiet. When we went, in January, there wasn't a whole lot of people. And it was amazing. It was cool weather. It was great. The lines to get to the buses are right there. They're around the whole compound of the resort, and so you can just easily walk to a bus and catch one and head to your park that you're going to head to that day. So it's so amazing to stay at one of those moderate resorts. And don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, especially the Grandestino Tower. It's amazing inside there. You won't believe yourself when you're in there. I mean, the pictures itself don't do it justice, I promise. But staying at a valley resort, we usually like to stay at Pop Century, that valley resort, because we love it there. It's one of our favorite resorts to stay at. I mean, we've stayed at All Star Music and All Star Sports, and don't get me wrong, those hotels are amazing as well. For a valley resort, because you can't beat the price. The price is so amazing to stay at those hotels. But we like staying at Pop Century because that's just our preference. We just like being in there. We like everything Pop. We like the store that's in there. We like the food that's in there. I mean, of course, you get the same food at any other resort that you're going to stay at, but we just like there because we're just comfortable. That's where we started, and that's where we like it. But of course, we do still want to stay at one of the upper hotels as well. I mean, I think this upcoming trip, we're going to try and stay at Bay Lake Tower there at the Contemporary, because we've never stayed there before, and that's going to be a whole brand new experience for us. I've seen a lot of videos where people have stayed at those hotels, and they look beautiful, and I really want to experience that. And another thing that you can do is saving on your flights. And the way that you can save on your flights, going back to again, is that Target Red Card, because Southwest and Delta are one of the one of the gift cards that they have at Target that you can get 5% off using your Target Red Card. We personally like to fly Southwest. That's just what we've always flown. I've flown other airlines, when I was younger, flying with my family. I've flown Delta before, and I've flown American. When we flew to New York, we flew American, and I mean, it was an amazing experience. I'm not knocking off on American or Delta. Excuse me, but those are the ones that we like to fly Southwest. It's just our preference. We love Southwest. Plus, they're a little bit cheaper. I think this trip that we're going on, we spent $49. I think it was in total for us to fly. It was for all of us to fly. It was $195 for all of us to fly round trip, and that's amazing. I mean, I usually spend like $400, $500 on a round trip flight for us to fly. But this time it was only $195, and I was really surprised at that, and I was like, "Ooh, yes, I'm booking that real quick." Another thing is when you're in the parks and you're ordering your food, quick service is amazing. You don't always have to sit at a sit down meal. You can have a quick service meal at one of the quick service restaurants. Don't get me wrong, we love the sit down restaurants. We love sitting there at the restaurants at Be Our Guest and Yak and Yeti over there in Animal Kingdom. Those are, don't get me wrong, they're amazing restaurants. But there's other restaurants too, like Flaming Tree Barbecue, which is a a fast service, a fast service restaurant that you can go to and get your food real quick, and it's a little bit cheaper than sitting down at a table restaurant. But you can also, if you do sit at a table restaurant, you can order a kids menu. An adult can order a kids menu, and it is cheaper because it is a lot of food that you are getting, and you can order a kids menu, and it'll be cheaper than what you ordered as an adult menu, and that'll save you some money as well. And one of the last things before I get to the last one that I have is plan a free day. When you're in the parks and you're going and you're trying to get to the next ride, trying to get to the next show, trying to go real fast to hit everything that you want, plan a free day. On one of the last trips that we did, we planned a free day, and we just sat and relaxed, and we enjoyed the pool. The pools are heated, all year round. If it's cold, the pools are heated. You can get in the pool when it's winter time, and the pool will be hot, and you can still enjoy yourself. Enjoy the resort. There's plenty of things you can do at the resort. I know at Pop Century, sometimes they have making s'mores right there by a campfire, and sometimes they have movies playing, right there on the resort as well, that you can sit down and just watch a Disney movie and enjoy being there with your family and your kids. And it's amazing that the other things that they have on the resorts that you can do that's free, that you don't have to be there in a park. They have coloring sessions with the kids, at Art of Animation. There's just so many things you can do that you can enjoy yourself. I know one of the last things that I wanted to talk about is skipping the park hopper when you're buying your tickets. So you don't necessarily need a park hopper ticket on your reservations for your parks when you buy your tickets, because park hopper, basically you can go to Magic Kingdom or go to Animal Kingdom in the morning, and then at 2 o'clock you can transfer over to whatever other park you want, the other 3 parks you want to go to. And you don't necessarily need that. You can hit each park each day if you have a lot of days that you're going to be there. Of course, if you're only going to be there a few days and you do want a park hop, you can. But just know that you're going to pay a little extra on your ticket for a park hopper. But those are some of the ways that you can save on your Disney trip. I know we've followed a lot of these topics that I've given you. Those are some of the things that we follow, and you can follow them, and you can comment below on the ways that you find ways to save money. I know there's plenty of ways that you can save money on Disney trips, but those are some of the ways that we save money on Disney trips. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on ways that you can save at Disney. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we will see y'all guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a great night. I'm always forgetting stuff. Always forgetting stuff. So one more way you can save at Disney. It's an important way too. And it's by booking with a travel agency. That is one thing that we are going to do when we go in January. We are going to go by using a travel agency. And that we actually met a really, really nice couple who are travel agents at Hollywood Studios when we were there this past trip. We ran into this couple. They are Rasberry Getaways. I'm going to put their information below in the description below. They are such an amazing couple. They're very, very nice. They're very, very knowledgeable about Disney and about any travel needs that you need. They can book you trips for cruises. They can book you trips for Vegas. They can book you trips for romantic getaways. For anything you can think of travel-wise, they can help you. And I would highly suggest using. They're a very, very nice couple. They're very knowledgeable. I'm going to leave their information in the description below. Highly recommend using them. Rasberry Getaways. You can look them up on Facebook at Rasberry Getaways. So amazing people. Such an amazing service. Use them. All right, guys, one more thing. So I forgot to tell y'all that the person who won the 50th anniversary pin did not contact me. So we are going to hold another drawing for another winner for the 50th anniversary pin. So stay tuned for that. We are going to have another drawing for this pin. So stay tuned.